Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Joyce, future world champion or overrated? Let's discuss. Right, we all saw the performance on Saturday night against Christian Hammer. He did what we expected. He did what Joyce does best, and that's just batter you into submission. Is he going to take right hands? Yes. Does he look great? No. But he's effective, right? And he got the victory. I'm seeing a lot of people, though, I think they get a bit confused with Joyce, right? They look at his style and they think, doesn't look great, makes a few mistakes, awkward, clumsy, and they think if you put him in with a big name, he'll get taken out. That just isn't the case. I'm telling you now, Joyce can beat any single heavyweight fighter on his day. Anyone, whether it's Tyson Fury, AJ, Wilder, Usyk, right? Anyone on his day. Will he is a different story, but he has the attributes to cause any heavyweight problems, right? Any heavyweight. You have to look at it objectively. Heavyweight boxing is different to other weight divisions, right? You don't have to look as good. You don't have to be as fast. You have to be built for purpose. Right? It's like a car. It's like you have a sports car and you want to be a Formula One driver. It's going to look flashy. It's going to be small. It's going to be light. It's going to be compact. Right? It's going to look electric. Right? It's going to visually look great. Right? That's what sports cars look like. If you have a big tractor or like a Jeep and you're a farmer and you're going through hills and the terrain you're going through every day is going through water and hills and the countryside, you're going to have a big Jeep, aren't you? And it may not look as visually great, but it's going to be effective. It's built for purpose, right? That's what Joyce is. He is that big, heavy artillery that doesn't look great, right? But he's tremendously effective. Tremendously. Some people say his jab isn't good or his jab is slow. If you look at Joyce's accolades in the amateurs, world silver medal, European gold, Commonwealth gold, Olympic silver medal, should have got the gold, right? They are tremendous foundations. Really, really good foundations, and they will help you as a pro fighter. Now, his jab might not look fast, it might not be flashy, it might not be bang, and might not sting you, but again, it's effective, it's timing. We all know that phrase, timing beats speed, and his jab, he will time you. You don't have the accolades that he's got as an amateur by being an absolute stiff robot. You just don't. So that notion goes out the window. He's not an absolute stiff, terrible, awkward, unbelievably bad boxer, which I see people suggesting. That just isn't the truth, right? His foundations are solid. His jab is very, very good. The timing of it, right? As I say, it might not be so fast, but it'll go to the body, it'll double it, it'll vary it, and he will time you. Right? And even if you hit him back, you might hit him with a right hand and he'll come back with a jab. And once someone keeps doing that with you consistently over a period of time, he's going to break you down like he did with Daniel Dubois. He took his best shots and then he was busting him up with a jab. It might not look that hard, it might not look that fast, but if you do it repeatedly over 12 rounds as a heavyweight, you're going to break your opponent down. You're going to batter him into submission, right? And that's what Joyce does. Saturday night against Christian Hammer, I'm seeing, he's taking right hands and all this. Yeah, he does, right? He does. But I think Joyce fights to the opposition of his fighter, right? If he's fighting someone who's smaller and he knows he's going to win the fight, I think he just coasts and he just walks through you and just wants to take you out. I think he knows he can take the shots and he just wants to batter you. You watch against Dubois, he was more compact, right? Really sharp. He wasn't just lunging in. He was keeping the distance, right? Popping the jab out, taking the shots, absorbing the shots, tiring Dubois out. And that is a fucking problem for a heavyweight. Most heavyweights are powerful and explosive and they fade later on in fights. Really, Tyson Fury, Usyk, they're the exceptions. Obviously, Usyk's coming up from cruiserweight, but Joyce has that body as well, where he's big and explosive, but he can last and last and last. He can be as fresh in the first round as he is in the 12th round, and for a heavyweight fighter, that is a fucking major problem. Absolute major problem. I'm telling you. And that's what makes him dangerous, because yes, you might hit him with right hands, you might hit him, you might wobble him, right? But when you're throwing the kitchen sink at someone and he's just standing in front of you, pushing you back, holding you, breathing on you, leaning on you, that's going to drain you, right? And later on in the fight, it's going to pay dividends, and it's going to be a fucking problem. You're going to be tired, and you're going to get taken out. Because at heavyweight boxing, if someone just keeps walking through you and coming towards you, there's only so much you can take. And this is why Joyce can be a heavyweight champion. As I keep saying, he doesn't look the best. He doesn't. He looks... It is a bit awkward how he looks. It's a bit uncomfortable. And it does look like, if you watch him, you wouldn't think he was on the verge of winning a gold medal at the Olympics, or he won a silver medal. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't think that, but you have to get past what he looks like. And it's all about being effective, right? It's not about looking flashy and good. It's about being effective. And that guy is a heavyweight fighter, is effective, right? I keep hearing about the Usyk fight and, they fought in the amateurs. This is a different game. It's not the amateurs. This is a 12-round heavyweight fight, right? Heavyweight, not cruiserweight, right? You can't go off Usyk's performance against other fighters, and you can't say, he beat Dalboy and he beat AJ, so we can beat Joyce. It doesn't work like that. They don't have the style that Joyce has. AJ and Chisora, especially Chisora at his age now, doesn't have the gas tank that Joyce has. He can't take the punishment that Joyce can, right? So this is where people are getting confused. Usyk, he fights him, yes, he's going to get peppered, he's going to get hit, right? But if Usyk doesn't take him out within 6 rounds and he gets a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, he's in the world of fucking trouble. He is in Joyce's world then. As a heavyweight fighter, right, Usyk isn't a heavyweight. Not heavyweight, no matter how good he is, and he can be one of the GOATs, right? He may be one of the GOATs, right? But he's not a natural heavyweight like Evander Holyfield wasn't, right? So sooner or later, they're going to get unstuck. When you fight someone bigger, right, and who has the same skill or who's better, you're going to come unstuck. And Usyk will come unstuck eventually at heavyweight. He will, right, because there's a reason there's weight classes. But the talk I'm seeing online about Joyce, he just isn't correct. And I think people will get shocked, right? They'll get shocked when he does fight a big name. People have short memories. They're talking about Joyce like he's never fought anyone. Do they not remember the Dubois fight? Daniel Dubois, right, is one of the best talents out there. One of the most dangerous heavyweights. You put him in with any heavyweight, he's got a chance. Even now, right, I don't care who it is, he's got a chance. He's got ridiculous power. Maybe the hardest punching heavyweight in the world, right? Maybe, right? Ridiculous power. And Joyce took it, right? He showed how he can step up, right, against a dangerous fighter who he was picked to lose, right? No one thought he was going to win that fight. He didn't, and he stepped up. And that's what I think Joyce will do. When the opposition steps up, he will step up. I don't think he's just going to walk right in front of a Deontay Wilder. Do you know what I mean? He's going to take his time, right? Because he knows if he gets hit by someone like Wilder, he'll get put to kip. He's not stupid, right? You don't win. You don't have the amateur background he has from being stupid, right? But on the flip side of that, it is bizarre why he does take so much punishment, why he doesn't bring his left hand back when he's throwing his jab, right? He doesn't bring it back to the trim. His chin is in the air, and it is bizarre, but that's just the way he is as a fighter. He reminds me of David Avanesian, Antonio Margarito, Nate Diaz in MMA. Like those guys will just keep coming forward, and putting relentless pressure till eventually you can't take it anymore, right? And that's what Joyce does. And to do that as a heavyweight, because you don't see many heavyweights doing that, because we all know in the heavyweight division it takes one of these to shut your lights out, put you to kip, right? But Joyce has this unexplainable chin. We've all heard of the terminology punches bouncing off your chin, right? And that literally is what happens with Joyce. I've never seen a fighter just take shots from heavyweights like they're nothing. Just absorbs them like he's being hit by a pillow. It's just unexplainable. And that is a dangerous motherfucker. Stop getting confused with how he looks. As I keep saying, it's not about how you look. It's about how effective you are. And no fighter is taking on that bloke unless there's big money on the line or there's a bout on the line. I'm telling you, because you ask people in the game, trainers, managers, promoters, fighters, go and ask fighters, is Joyce awkward and can you win a world heavyweight bout? They'll all tell you yes. They'll all say he has to be careful with his defence, and there's always a chance he'll get taken out. But they'll all say he's a dangerous motherfucker. Like, he's built for the heavyweight division, and he can beat any heavyweight on his day. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Joe Joyce can be a world champion? Do you think he's overrated? What happens if he fights Usyk, AJ, or Fury? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.